some shine. They will give you some advice about your life, but they only drink the cloudy beers that fucking shine. Cause it's the trouble boys, TBC, yeah, it's the trouble boys, TBC, yeah, it's the trouble boys, TBC.
Welcome back, TBC members. On this week's episode, we welcome Craig. Craig is a personal trainer, online coach, and former sesh ed. Welcome to the Trouble Boys Club, Craig. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm very good. I feel fucking at home, to be fair, with you two chaps.
Oh, good man, good man. I love that in your little bio thing. It's proper, like, it speaks to people's like language, doesn't it? You know, like, as soon as they see that, they're like, oh god, he's gonna be all right. Him.
Yeah, well, I think as I was saying, like, when you just say like alcoholic or something like that, it's just very vague. If you when you say sesh ed, people know like what sort of bloke you are. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I was telling my partner before because I always like give a little rundown of like what guests we've got on and stuff like that. And I read your bio out to her. And when I said former sesh ed, she was like, "Sounds funny, this guy."
Straight away.
So getting across the personality straight away, though, isn't it? Like you said, if you was just like former alcoholic, or
yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think so many people struggle with the sesh, and I feel like the sesh is like an actual big, like, well-known term now. So it's not like I was just having 2 bottles of wine a night or anything like that. Like, I fully sent the sesh, do you know what I mean? Like, every weekend.
Was you in kitchens at like 5 a.m. having heart to hearts and
yeah, mate, yeah.
You know what though? Some of those times there are some of the best conversations I think you'll ever have, because everyone stops wearing that veil that they have over themselves while they're out, and then when you get it to fucking 5 a.m, people just sort of let loose and just say like the most like homeless shit you could think of.
Yeah, someone could be giving it the absolute big one, saying I'm this, I'm that. Then at 5 a.m, mate, when they're geared off their nut, they'd be like, "Look, I fucking hate my life. I'm so sad.
I just miss her so much."
yeah, you know. Yeah, that was me.
That was you.
That was mad, mate. So just for all our listeners listening in, it's 2 years you're celebrating, isn't it, being sober?
Yeah, man. Yeah, 2 years in August.
That's unreal. Like, massive congrats to you for obviously doing it. So I just wanted to ask, like, what is it that you do now, like, for a living, and, you know, have you kind of combated that and took it into your career and shit like that?
Yeah, so I worked in sales for 10 years, and I feel like Wolf of Wall Street took off, and everyone thought like, "Our sales sick, like let's sniff loads of packet and do a load of brasses and shit like that." It's not like that. You just sat at a desk all day, hating life. For me personally, hating life, chasing targets, and then stress, and then after work drinks, and that's the sort of, you know what I mean? Like that's the cycle. Now I'm a personal trainer, because before I was a mess. I was always into my footy. I used to play since I was 3. And I've always loved going to the gym and stuff like that. So I thought, why not actually try and do something that I enjoy for once? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a personal trainer now, work in a gym, and I do a bit of online coaching as well.
Nice. We find that that's quite like not like a popular thing, but quite a lot of people that we speak to within our community do tend to be like coaches and like PTs. So is that like something separate then? So do you like PT at a gym as like a freelancer, and then are you like a coach, or is it all like under one umbrella? Nah,
so it is separate. The online coaching's completely me.
Yeah.
And that will just I like to not just, for me, the fitness industry is pretty fucked. It's all about men and thinking how many, or trying to just get abs and big biceps and shit like that, and not actually worry about their health as a whole, plus their heads. And girls go to the gym purely just to get a big ass.
Yoga pants.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, anyone's asking to look nice in them pants, I'm telling you. So with the coaching, I try and make it not just about looking good. It's about having healthy habits, because I feel like that is overlooked and it's really important.
Absolutely. Do you tend to do like the nutritional side as well then? So like, do you kind of have like your own, because I know you've got your Insta page, which I did have wrote down, sorry.
That's all right.
1 sec.
Yeah, you fluffing your lines?
No, sorry, it's Live Without Limits Coaching, right?
Yeah.
So do you have like a website or an app or anything where people can kind of go on, and then have you got everything within that, or how's that set up?
So it's all on my Instagram. I did start doing a website, but I paid I think a couple of £100, and I just thought, what's the point in this website? Because everything's on social media these days.
I can imagine that. Like, most people would just go on your Instagram message.
Yeah.
Something like, I always think that a lot of people on their websites, like, surely, don't go on someone's website and then send you a fucking email and be like, oh, nice. Like, you just fucking DM them and be like,
yeah. That's what it's like now. As much as social media kills me, sometimes I can't stand it, but it seems the way of the world now. So you've got to be part of it, really, haven't you?
Definitely.
But yeah, I've got like a form on there for people to click on and fill out, and I feel like because my Instagram is so honest, people can be honest with their feelings and what they're actually going through as well. So I don't just do like I said, coaching for people that want to look good or anything like that. That can, obviously I can do that, but I'm trying to aim it towards people like me, or like what I used to be like, to help them sort of people who are struggling with addiction and going out and fucking their life up, losing their bird, their kids, shit like that, just because I can relate to it a lot.
Yeah, I think when someone goes into the gym trying to just get the aesthetics, like they go into it from like the wrong foundation from the off. Like, if you go into it to become healthier in like mind and body and stuff like that, the aesthetics comes as a secondary. Like if you're working out, your body is going to change how it looks, but it's all about how you feel, isn't it? And then if 100%. You feel good, you'll be like, oh, I'm starting to like look good now. I want to continue doing that, and then just sort of build on you feeling good from the inside first, and then you'll look on the exterior and be like, oh shit, fucking a bit of fucking definition here. I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna go into the gym because it makes you feel good. You know what I mean? Is that your sort of method when trying to like appeal to someone as to why choose Craig?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. If you think about it, I don't know what the fuck has gone wrong in the world, but surely the whole point of going to the gym, exercising, stuff like that is your main purpose, or the biggest thing about it should be for longevity and to be healthy. Yeah. Because it's why would you just want to smash a load of steroids and then be a cripple from 50 to 80 years of age? Like, I just don't get the appeal. I understand young kids and that's what they want, and I've been like that before, but for me the most important thing is to help people live healthily and be solid in their mind as well.
Yeah, they do always say, like, when you like smash a gym out or go for a run and all stuff like that, like that's when you feel like mentally
mate,
you know what I mean? Like, after a run and stuff like that, you feel fucking rejuvenated sometimes.
Yeah, the endorphins are going.
Yeah, like after a workout and stuff like that, you just naturally like feel in a better mood, and I feel like you eat better as well. Like, the thought of, say, if you do a clean ass workout, the thought of like a fucking, I don't know, a greasy burger or you know, like makes you cringe a little bit, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, man. Yeah, no, exactly.
So I was gonna just going back to what I was saying before. Like, so if someone lands on your Insta and then hits like your link tree and then goes through to that form and fills it out, what's kind of like the next steps? And do you like set up like a Zoom call and
so whatever they're comfortable with, because I feel like a lot of people probably have anxiety and stuff like that. So not many people just want to and it's not natural to just jump on a call with someone who you've never met before if you're struggling in yourself. So if they would want to do a Zoom call, absolutely fine. I feel like it's probably a bit more personable. They can see me, I can see them, so it's a bit more transparent. Or it could just be a phone call, find out what they want to change, what they're struggling with, and then you can come to some sort of plan and make sure that they can visually see it as well and believe in it. And it's all about little steps instead of trying to achieve something fucking ridiculous and unrealistic and then failing that and then starting from the bottom again. So it's all about small steps every day and just following that.
And how does like online coaching work? I know that sounds daft, but like I've spoken to people before that do it.
Uh-huh.
I always think like, I don't know, I always personally think like myself speaking, if I was feel motivated and shit like that, I know I benefit from like being in a gym with someone physically.
Yeah.
Like, you doing that wrong, or you look like a fucking penguin trying to take a shit. Like if it was on Zoom, I think anyway, but I've never done it, so I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Would I do a workout with you kind of watching, or would you kind of send me videos and be like, this is what you need to achieve? Or
yeah. So basically on the app that I use, so they get an app and there'll be things that I ask them to do every day. So it could be very, very, very small things. And then depending on what we've agreed to do, gym or exercise wise, say I want them to do 3 workouts a week, it will have the exercises on there one by one, so they can just watch it as they're in there. But you are right, because people still might not be doing it correctly, which is why if it's a complete beginner, we'll do very, very straightforward exercises, and then progress it. Whereas if it's someone that's got a bit of experience in the gym already, they're not going to have as much of a problem as following the workouts.
Yeah,
because I'm not just, you know, it's like, say you've never stepped foot in a gym before. I'm not going to say, right, you need to do 15 deadlifts or something like that, because I end up with a broken back. Not what we want.
No, of course. And so as well as that, I know I'm proper asking.
No, crack on, man.
I'm mad interested. So, like, do you kind of do like the nutrition side of it as well? And so,
yeah.
Like, meal prep and all shit like that.
Yeah. So again, I'll give them the choice if they want an actual tailored diet plan. So they've got to follow everything that I say to a T, or I've written out like a nutrition guide. So it's portion controlled and it's really, really straightforward. It's proven to get results without having to weigh everything that you eat, and you're less likely to fall off the wagon, if you know what I mean. Because I feel like people are mad obsessed with like this MyFitnessPal and stuff like that, and they're putting everything that they eat in this MyFitnessPal, scanning barcodes and shit like that, and then they forget to scan something and they're like, oh, fucked it now, and then just go and smash 10 pints.
Throughout COVID, I was a MyFitnessPal fucking addict, and I got into pretty decent shape, to be fair, but it was obsessive. You know, I couldn't eat anything before I scanned it, and I think I was just like barreling into like some sort of eating disorder or a bad relationship with food. It's like,
man.
If it gets into like my macros and all that shit, I don't know. I think you're asking for trouble if you're monitoring absolutely everything that you eat, because it's not sustainable, is it? Like people want a treat now and again, and all you need to do is just incorporate that into your diet, like take out of maybe Mondays or Thursdays, something like that. If you want to up it on a Saturday and, you know, have a chicken burger or whatever, then you can factor that in, can't you?
Yeah, mate, exactly. Listen, we're human at the end of the day, and life is for living. We shouldn't just be like stuck to the fact that we're going to eat chicken, broccoli and rice every single day. So that's why I prefer this nutrition guide, because it could be as simple as literally a handful of rice, a palm size of chicken, and a fistful of vegetables. It could be that straightforward. but no, you're literally the prime example then, like that MyFitnessPal and stuff like that. People get scared, and not everyone has got the time to prep their food to an absolute T and weigh everything. So the guide works because portion control works. 3 meals a day. Just don't smash a load of Jaffa cakes.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not rocket science. But then if they want like better, quicker results, then they might have to and they might prefer me, to tailor it exactly to their pinpoint macros and stuff like that. So the choice is theirs.
So say for someone like myself then, I'm plant-based. Would you have like some cooked up for us fucking tree huggers as well? Like?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Tell me to scrap a lot of tofu off.
Yeah. There's always like vegan or vegetarian foods because it's common, isn't it? Like loads of people are on different diets and stuff like that, so there'll always be an alternative. Yeah,
defo. I was going to say, just looking on your Insta, I just want to say, like, it's mad how fucking different you used to look.
Yeah.
Fucking tanking the sesh. Like, you look so different.
Yeah.
And, like, fucking such good shape now.
No,
when was it that you, like, obviously started getting in shape? Was it 2 years ago when you become sober? Or was it a bit before that?
No, it was actually after, because when I first quit drinking and the rest of it, I couldn't. There was no way I could step foot in a gym or do any exercise straight away because I was hammering it so hard. I had severe withdrawals. So one of the withdrawals is a massive craving for sugar. So I knocked the booze on the head, but I was hammering like Haribo, Tangfastics and takeaways. I was getting Deliveroo's delivered through my window because I couldn't even face seeing a geezer. But I wasn't drinking. So when I felt up to it, maybe a month or two in, that's when I started walking. And then from walking, I started going on small runs. And then it just built up from there, to be honest.
Yeah, and was you still in sales at this point? Just before you
No. No, I might have been. Yeah, I might have. I would have still been in sales for about 6 months, and then that's when I jogged that on.
Yeah, that's mad. That I love that you just had that kind of fucking moment where it was like to fucking flip this shit on its head.
Yeah, proper epiphany.
Yeah. So what was the moment then? Because obviously, seeing your Insta and you've got loads of mad reels on there of you like fucking conked out in some bushes and shit like that, necking Stella. Breakfast.
yeah. With a balloon in my hand and that.
Remember balloons? Like I tried my first balloon and it fucking blew my head off, mate. It's wild.
Yeah, I've only ever done it once and I had a really bad experience. Like the room just went like sort of spiraling, and I was just like, I don't want to do that ever again. It was backable.
They are crazy balloons. I used to love them, but they are fucking dangerous. Like at one point, I think I was practically having a seizure. So yeah, my head was like bouncing up on the ground and that. I was like, no way am I doing this again. But basically, when did I quit? 2022, yeah. So my nan and granddad passed away 12 days apart from each other.
Wow.
And I felt like a massive letdown. I just thought, look at the state of me. And then one of my best mates passed away as well. It will be 3 years in October. So he passed away in October. So there's 3 deaths in 1 year. And when my mate went at 27, bless his heart, that was the turning point for me. I was like, right, I'm never drinking again, and that was it.
Wow, I'm really sorry to hear that, mate. That must have been fucking terrible to
That's right.
go through. Yeah, that must have been fucking horrible. But I suppose like you can find sort of like gratefulness in tribulations, can't you?
Yeah,
they are too at the time. But when you sort of look back now in like the rear view mirror of 2 years ago, it's like that it's taught you so much and how to actually live a better life. Like for your nan's sake, for your granddad's sake, for your mate's sake, you're gonna like you said, all life is for living. And unfortunately, 100%. Those 3 people can't do that right now. No. And there's nothing you can do about it, but there's a lot you can do about how you're gonna live yours, innit? So,
mate, but you're exactly right.
Big respect for you, man. That's fucking amazing that you've done that.
You're so right. Like when things like that happen, it can trigger something, and then you realise how short life is. And my mate had so much life. He had so much more life than me. I was down and out, but he had so much life, and it felt so unfair. So I thought, fuck it. This is what's holding me back, booze and gear, and it's time to cut that out. Funnily enough, I actually stopped drinking when he passed away. I think I was like 2 months sober, maybe, and I was going to drink again. I thought I'd just have a little break, just try and sort my shit out for a little bit. But then that solidified the fact that I was never going to drink again when that happened. But you're right, yeah. It makes you think life's too short, and we're only here once. Do you know what I mean? What's the point in? The session's fun for a couple of hours, if that.
Yeah.
And you just live in absolute hell for like a week after, and then you go again, and it's just a vicious cycle. It's like, what is the point? What am I doing? Well, have I done this for like 10 years? It's mad.
It is mad when you think about it, because like when you strip it right back, it's literally just a drink that fucking poisons your fucking brain.
Yeah, man.
Makes you a bit more fucking stupid, and then you have a bit of a better time because you've got a bit more confidence. And then
exactly.
And then the next day, it's like borrowed time because you feel shitty the next day. So then you're
mate.
productive.
Mate, if it was just the next day, it wouldn't be so bad. But for me, I would feel bad for at least 3 days after every single time, at least. And then I'd have to drink to get through it. I was like, yeah, this ain't
more like drinking on the weekends then, or did it start becoming a daily thing?
Oh mate, I was drinking in the mornings.
Shit, yeah, that's when it's like hardcore, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's such thing in there as a functioning alcoholic where they can go about the day and then they need a drink.
Yeah.
But then there's a full blown alcoholic where they like wake up, have a drink.
yeah. I was drinking in the mornings on not every morning, but it's like, especially if I'd had a big one, I would literally be needing to have a drink the next day because I couldn't deal with life, and I just thought I was gonna. I don't know if you've ever, or if anyone can relate listening, but when you have a heavy one and it's that heavy that you feel like you're just like shaking and you feel like you're gonna have a fit or something, and as soon as you have a pint or a drink, whatever,
it's like the air of the dog.
Brand new, mate.
Yeah, I've never got that, mate. Like, because me and Ryan aren't really drinkers at all. Like, we probably would drink like maybe like 2-3 times a month, maybe.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Usually, whenever we like kind of meet up, or on a podcast, or after we finish recording, we sometimes go to our local, and that's it.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, we never drink.
Yeah.
But like, if I was to like. I don't think I could. I think I'm too much of a lightweight to get that fucking bladdered and wake up that fucked. Like,
really?
I've got like 5 pints and I'm like
buzzing,
pretty tired.
Really?
Like,
don't go and get a kebab. Let's do it.
Yeah. See, that's a. I would say that's a normal relationship with alcohol, and I'm after everything. I really do not want to come across as someone that preaches saying alcohol's poison, blah, 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 you're an idiot for drinking, da, da, da. Not everyone has got a problem with it. Just because I have a problem with it doesn't mean that I have to fucking hate on everyone just because I can't have a drink and they can. But 5 pints, honestly, like, I would drink 5 pints in an hour and I would still feel normal.
Fuck me.
Yeah, like, I think if I drank 5 pints in an hour, I think I'd like just vomit it all up and then fucking pass out and wake up like 3 days later. But, yeah, like you said, my older brother, I don't even know whether I told you this. I might have done it. Oh no, I have done actually. He's given up alcohol because I I'd say he didn't have a problem with it, but he said that it was just like becoming a negative thing in his life where like it just, I don't know, like he'd start drinking a little bit through the week, and then you rely on it and shit like that, and then he just saying it was just like negative, and he was starting to like feel a bit like shit the day after, and he's got a little boy and stuff, and you'd feel a bit like ratty and short patient and snappy, all that kind of stuff. And he said that he listened to quite a few good audio books, like you might have heard them yourself, I can't remember what they're called, but he said like he was like telling me like loads of fucking sick quotes and stuff from them, and it just makes so much sense when you put it like that. And I suppose like the reason I've not necessarily give it up is because like you said, I rarely drink it anyway, but like the more I do speak to people who don't drink it, I just think like why you don't need it, do you know what I mean?
Nah, yeah.
I was gonna say, how do you would you still associate yourself in a situation like in a pub with loads of lad mates who are getting smashed, or would you just be like, nah, not doing that?
Rarely. I'll still, because most of my pals are still drinkers, so if there's something going on and I don't know, and it's worth going to, I'll pop out for a little bit. Like sometimes I'll still watch the footy in a pub and stuff like that, but as soon as the footy's done, I'm gone. And as soon as people say there's no footy on and it's like a shindig, as soon as people start getting pissed, I'm off as well, because I think I'm not going to bring anything to you. You're not going to enjoy anything that I'm going to say because I'm sober and I'm not on your level, and you're going to think I'm a boring cunt as well. So what's the point of me being there? So I'd rather just go home.
It's not just that as well, though, mate. Like you being sober, they'll be being fucking well annoying, like chatting shit, and like I always find when you're sober and you're around pissed people, you're just like fucking hell.
Oh, you know it's like it's hell.
No, it is. But like you said, everyone's got their own shit. So obviously, I was just said then about myself with alcohol and being fine with it. But like I used to be really addicted to weed. Like, trying to think how long ago it was now. So like probably about 6 years ago, I stopped smoking it. But when I did smoke it was like, I don't know whether it was like I was depressed and that was like a bandage, and I'd work, I was depressed, I was unhappy in my relationship, and then I'd get home, get a big fucking baseball bat and fucking spark it up, and then I started smoking it, like this fucking cloud was disappearing. I was just like monging out and I was just chilling, like I said, eating fucking Annie balls and chocolates and shit, watching and I was just laughing, and I was like, that was my little escape. Do you know what I mean? And then, like you said though, then it got to a point where I was like, it's one, it's costing loads of money. Two, it's making me fucking stink like an ashtray. Three, so it's just not good for my health. And then I was like, and then four, like I noticed the side effects of it. Like if I didn't have it, I was like becoming a bit like fucking fiendish and being like, oh, I really want a fucking spliff and stuff like that. That's fucking horrible to be like that. So I was like, I really need to stop. And like I tried to stop so many times and I just couldn't. Like I'd be desperate, mate. Like I'd be getting like fucking scraping my grinder trying to get little crumbs and fucking that like fuck me. And then it took me to remove myself from a situation, and I left my ex-partner, separated from her because she was addicted to weed as well. And then once I weren't around her and I weren't around that negativity and the toxic environment, I was able to like just be like,
man,
bothered. And I didn't like smoke at all and not touched it again since. I think I got a weed pen a while ago, like a couple of years ago, but just to like, because someone offered it me and I smoked it. I was like, oh, it's actually pretty sick. And then after about smoking weed pens for like about 2-3 weeks, I was like, nah, I'm not doing this again.
Falling back down that hole.
It was more, it was. And I was getting a bit more addicted to it. But then it was more like, I had a really weird trip when I was in bed. And I don't know, like, and I sort of said, like, I'm never smoking this again. And I put it in the bin the next day. And like, it was horrible. So like, I think back in the day when I did used to smoke the weed, I didn't have kids and all stuff like that. So like you could just mong out and go to bed later, all that shit. But now like I've got kids, so like I feel like your mind never switches off, and like your whole fucking mindset's different when you've got kids and stuff like that. And I feel like I was like, I had this one night and I was like fucking just hearing noises, and I was like half asleep but still half awake, and like loads of weird ass shit was like running through my head rapid, and I was thinking of loads of mad stuff, and I just wanted to go to sleep and I couldn't switch my brain off. But because I was high, the shit that was going through my brain was nuts. And I was like,
yeah, I'll bet.
I was just like, I really want to go to sleep, and I couldn't stop my brain from thinking about this shit. And then, like I said, next day I just fucking put it in the bin. And
yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with that. And that was my kind of like demon. And I was like, started smoking it when I was probably about 15.
Yeah.
15, and that was obviously super casual then, like maybe a couple joints here and there. And then as I got older and got into my early 20s, it became like a fucking daily thing. And then, like I said, and then I was fucking mad addicted then from like my 20s, like early 20s to my mid 20s, and then knocked it on the head. It's the best thing I've ever done. Like
no, good man. And it's good. It's good because like I bet if you were still smoking it, you wouldn't be half as good a dad as what you probably are now. So it's a good reason to quit. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Like I never would have had kids when I was smoking it anyway. That was always, I always said like, don't want kids, because I couldn't imagine, like, no disrespect to anyone out there who does this, because obviously, like I said, everyone's got their own kind of shit that they do, and everyone has their own levels. But I was mad addicted, and like I wanted to have a kid, spend all day with the kid, and then put my baby down to bed or whatever, and then be like, right, run downstairs and fucking smoke.
Man.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it
would be hard work, wouldn't it?
And then imagine like being baked and your baby's crying upstairs, and you better go upstairs and be like, yo. Do you want some chocolate?
Have a bit of this, have a bit of that, babe. That'll fucking get you to sleep. Like.
Yeah. I can't smoke weed.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right. I can't really relate with the weed thing too much. Honestly, I cannot tolerate it. I have 2 tokes of a joint, and that is me nearly whitey, and I can't deal with it. But I suppose it's a bit like you with booze, isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah, like I always had to be like mad tactical if I was going to get stoned, and I'd like eat a load of stuff, and then I'd like smoke a little bit, and then so it's a bit like drinking. And there was always that saying that we always used to say, wasn't it? Was it beer before weed? No. When you say
it's beer before bud, head in the mud.
Yeah.
Bud before beer, head in the clear.
Yeah. So say if you had like a joint and then went out on the sesh, you'd feel like a mad mint high. Whereas if you had is it weed and then beer, or beer and then weed? Yeah, if you had beer and then weed, you'd be like fucked.
Yeah.
Like fucking Voldemort, mate, when he's fucking
if you booze it and have a doobie, like, it fucking just sends you to not a good place at all.
Nah, it's horrible, man. Like spinning everywhere, and you just want to get out, don't you?
Yeah. I've been in situations before, man, where I've been KO'd, mate, like on floors and shit, and you just sat there, you fucked, but like your brain's sober, and you're just like thinking to yourself, like, how the fuck am I gonna get home?
I've had to pull him out of so many fucking KOs, man. Honestly, I've brought him back to life more times than I can count, man.
You later out.
Yeah.
Excited to give me back.
Clear.
I'm like I said, I'm a lightweight, and to the point where I've been out before with people that I've not necessarily even known loads, and they've been like work colleagues and shit. And then like my issue when I used to go out like that is I try and keep up with people that drank, whereas I didn't. So I'd be like, just fucking West, mate. And I remember once I was in this like, I won't bang on about it loads because we've got other shit that we want to talk about, but like I was in this venue and it was like a little beer festival thing, and there was tokens, and they had all these kegs, and you could fucking get pints like for mad cheap. And we had bare tokens just given to us because I think we were sponsoring the event. And I was just going around smashing loads of bevs. And then it was all like hot and sweaty in there. And as soon as I went outside and the fresh air hit me, I was like, West, mate. And I was like fucking stumbling about. Because we've like left me. And then I just went up to some randomers. I don't remember. I vaguely remember. And I was just like passing him the phone. I was going like, do me an Uber. And they was just like, what's your password? And I was like trying to put my password in for about 20 minutes, and then luckily I think like my ex-partner at the time must have rang me, and then they answered my phone, and then that's how they ended up getting me home, put me in an Uber, and it was like fucking 40 quid in an Uber as well.
Yeah,
it was just grim. Absolutely grim. I've been in situations like that before where I've been in taxis, smashed, And then they took me to a cash machine and I'd like not known the password. And I've been trying to put a pin in that. And I remember I turned round in slow motion and the fucking boss man's reversing off and driving away. I've been like, fuck. Had to walk home.
Wait, like 2 hour walks.
2 hour walk home, 3 a.m, just fucking waved down my head. Don't know how I'm alive, to be honest, but yeah.
I've got a question for you, Craig. Sorry. So I told you there'd be like tangents and shit from him, so I did warn you before we started.
No, it's fine. I appreciate it. Just fucking say what you feel.
But I wanted to ask, like, people use like substances and stuff like that for their escape, like Jay said, to sort of like get into a different headspace and stuff like that. Like, what was it that you were using alcohol to sort of like mask or escape from, or like what was it that you found comfort in alcohol from?
Anxiety. But it's a weird one because I would normally only really get bad anxiety. I still do get anxiety, but to a certain level, I know how to deal with it because I'm much more headstrong now because I'm not a fucking raving alky. But yeah, anxiety. The alcohol would cause the anxiety, so then I'd need to drink again, and it was just a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always had a bit of anxiety since I can remember. So that's why I would drink, because it could be an anxious wreck 1 minute, 3 pints later, you feel like Conor McGregor, do you know what I mean?
So was that more social anxiety, like when you were in a group of people, or was it just going outside per se? Like what sort of like level were you dealing at?
Just a bit of everything, really. I mean, like it could start off with like stress from work or shit at work or just having a shit day, and then start overthinking loads and start overthinking about literally anything, and it would just be like, I know what to do, have a beer. Simple. So when anything went wrong in my life, it would be have a beer. So I never actually dealt with any problems at all.
Yeah.
Just mastered, just covered them up.
100%, yeah. Exactly. And then they're there in the morning, but 10 times stronger.
Yeah, because all you've done is add to it. You've sort of like paused it for a few minutes, and then as it's being paused, it's growing in the background.
Literally,
Yeah. I wanted to ask just something that's come on top of my head, like when you were with your friends and you're in that sort of like anxious like state or whatever, did you ever feel sort of like if you weren't there, they'd like be having a better time without you? Were you like overthinking like things before you had a drink, like when you was with like all your friends? Because I used to do that. I used to think that if I weren't there, the conversation would be more flowy. But because I was a bit of a fucking Inuit and a bit fucking, I don't know, I was just wired differently to them, or so I thought. I'd proper be in my own head and isolate myself a bit, and then like you say, 2 beers later, you're fucking right in the mix of things. Like, did you ever experience anything like that at all?
What? So you mean like you'd be overthinking, and you wouldn't really want to add to the conversation until you had a few beers?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was a shell of a man, mate, until I had a couple of beers. I had nothing to say. Do you know what I mean? I was literally Ian Beale. And then as soon as I had a few beers, I don't know who I thought I was, but I could just go on and on and on. That's done you, innit?
Fucking done him there, mate.
Ian Beale.
I was the same though in that sense. Like I'd think like if I'm going to say something, like everyone in the room's going to think I'm a fucking idiot, and like what do you know what I mean? And I'd have them thoughts in my head. So like you say, like with the anxiety, I'd sit in silence, and I could have like the fucking funniest one-liner in the world, like that fucking Ian Beale one then. And like I think I'm not going to say it because everyone's going to think I'm a fucking weirdo.
You still do that now, don't you?
Not as much.
But it's still there, isn't it?
In a situation if I don't really know,
yeah,
not comfortable with them. Like for example, like with Ryan, my family, my partner, and even work colleagues, like I feel super comfortable with everyone. I'll say whatever's on my mind.
Yeah.
Like previous job situations or previous situations where I'll be in I keep saying situations, say like fucking 3 times in a row then, but like I'll be like, I'm not going to say this. Or, like, I'll be in work in a meeting, and I'll just be sat there quiet. Like, the best idea in the world in my head, and like I won't say it, and then I'll think, why didn't you fucking say it? Because I'll just think like everyone's going to be like, it's a stupid idea, and I think that's my childhood from being fucking put down by my dad all the time, and my dad always being like, no, fucking idiot,
you idiot, yeah. Mate, it probably is, because when you're a kid, you're a sponge, aren't you? So things like that can literally be imprinted in your brain, and without you even thinking about it, subconsciously you are thinking about it, and you're so used to obviously your dad putting you down, so it's just like your brain's like, I know what to do, don't say nothing. It's protecting itself.
Exactly. But like I said, with people who feel comfortable around, I'll pipe up and I'll say whatever is on my mind, because I just think you feel safe there. Do you know what I mean? But and it's, I think you put something on Instagram the other day about the inner child and nightmares or something. It's a bit similar to that, I think.
Was it today that the monster created to protect the child inside? Yeah, I was not on it.
Yeah, it's similar to that. Like, you know, and it is grim.
You might not have seen that, Craig. Did you see that? You know what I'm about? I put something on our story. It was called the parentified child. And it was about like a child that's not taught how to regulate their emotions as a kid. They grow up and they create a monster, like an angry and aggressive one.
Yeah.
And I put as like the little comment saying the monster that was created to protect the child inside.
Yeah.
Man.
That is.
Because I think I am literally that kid, and I think Jay is partially that as well, because we had to protect ourselves without knowing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he stayed quiet without him actually going, I'm going to be quiet. He just was conditioned to do so.
Yeah.
And that creates very, very emotionally unregulated adults.
Yeah, 100%, because it's trauma, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just a habit, and you're not going to go against it because it feels uncomfortable. So that's why you won't speak up, or you'll get nightmare. I don't know, like say someone's had a real bad childhood, they could just be in and out of prison or something like that because of all the trauma that they've gone through when they were a kid, the lack of love and stuff like that.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. It's fucking horrible, but I did want to ask a question actually from when I was doing a bit of recon myself about 10 minutes ago. No, I'm joking.
There we go.
I've seen that you was on Mel's Instagram, Men Against Mountains.
Yeah.
I'll say it wrong. But we're good friends with Mel. She's been on our pod before. And we've been on her Insta Live and stuff like that. And like we've done quite a few collab posts with her and all stuff like that.
Yeah, we absolutely. We love Mel. If you listen, we love you.
She's quality.
So how did that come about? Did you just... I'm assuming you followed the page and then kind of just like one of you reached out to each other.
Yeah, to be honest with you, my memory is horrendous. But it would have been a case where she probably would have messaged me, and then I think I had a look at her profile, and I thought she's so cool because
she is.
When it's coming from a woman, it's a bit different because it's so easy for a bloke to be like, oh, bloke struggle, da 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 da. But when a woman knows that men are struggling and 75% of suicides and shit like that from men, I just feel like it hit a bit different. And I thought, yeah, she seems cool, and I'm up for it. I'm always up for things like this because if it can help someone or someone can relate to it, because I know so many people can, so many people are struggling, I'm happy to take an hour out of my day and chat loads of shit. Do you know what I mean? Because it might help someone.
No, of course, mate. And we always say that, like, you know, a thumbnail of our podcast and the title, like, from whatever it is about, like you said, it might just capture the eye of one person.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like this episode might be called, you know, something about fucking alcohol and stuff like that. Someone might catch your eye and they might be like, I might listen to that. And then, you know, it might help them fucking get kick up the ass, that obviously what you did to yourself and stuff. And they might be like, yeah, I'm going to fucking knock on the head. And it's just about that spreading as far as you can and shit like that. And, you know, that's one main reason why we started it off, really, isn't it? Because, you know, we struggle.
I guess you two have obviously struggled at some point in your lives. Maybe you still do struggle sometimes, and it's normal to struggle. But I remember when I was struggling, there was nothing like this. So people didn't talk.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was the only one going through that shit, when really so many people are. And if you could watch something like this, where a real person is saying about how they feel, that could just give them so much hope and help them carry on or not relapse and stuff like that.
Defo, and I know that 100%. Like in the past, when I have struggled, if I did see shit like this, I would have been all over it, and I would have been messaging being like, "Wow, this is amazing!" Like I would have been like, "Can I come on and fucking, you know what I mean, chat to us?" Because I feel like it massively helped.
100%.
But yeah, like going from obviously from Mel to your pod, mate, like how did that come about? And like, do you want to tell everyone what it's called? And
so me and Gary, we've got a podcast called The Sober Stretch, and he's 10 years sober. And basically how it started was, we're literally like the same person, but he's a northern version of me and a little bit older. And it's so weird because our journeys are pretty much identical. We got up to the same shit. And when I started my coaching business or Instagram, whatever you want to call it, I think I was just messaging loads of people and following loads of people because I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. And obviously I've messaged him, and he looked at a few of my videos and was like, fuck me. It's like a younger version of me. And I thought, fuck me, it's like an older version of me. And the rest is history, yeah. So he got me on an Instagram live, and it was all new to me. So it was the first Instagram live thing I've ever done. And we just had such a laugh because we're so similar. It was hilarious. I don't know why, but just laughing about how we're so similar and how we went through the same shit. I think I said to him, I was like, fuck it, should we do a podcast? And he was like, yeah, game. And the rest is history.
That's mad. So what's like the podcast about? I know it's called The Sober Stretch, so you know the clues in the name, but like I'm guessing you don't speak about being sober in every episode, like.
So really a lot of it, the majority of it is literally all about booze and what comes with it. So the drawbacks, withdrawals, so educating people on withdrawals and just basically giving them either advice or a bit of info that what they're experiencing is normal.
Yeah.
And just trying to give them a bit of willpower to actually get through it, because so many people start then stop. So we're just honest people. And because we had such a shit time of it, I feel like, again, we want to help other people. But yes, could be talking about mental health and being sober, really.
Yeah, nice. I'm just looking on it now on the YouTube. I love all the design and stuff like that. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's all him. I ain't got a clue. I'm useless with technology, so he does all that. Fair play to him.
No, that's sick. Do you ever like have guests on or anything like that?
We haven't, but I did say to him we should, because we're going to run out of things to talk about soon. So I was
going to say, we had that exact same issue. Like, we started off just doing eps about men's mental health, and then we started going down the whole like addiction.
Yeah.
We spoke about like neurodiversity, suppression, and all stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
man.
It was going really well, and then we obviously had a guest on. I think it was an Andy's Man Club facilitator. And then I think someone else then seen we had a guest on, and then messaged us and being like, oh, can I come on? And then from there on, it just fucking boomed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like person after person. And then I suppose I put a post out on our Insta and pinned it to the top saying, like, if you want to join the club, drop us a message and come on the pod. And then we're now booked out for like a year, aren't we?
Yeah, we're booked out till April 2025. And everyone's so different and got such varied stories and things like that. Like, we don't turn anyone away, mate. Like, we don't look at followings or fucking what's the word, like the lure of like some people or whatever, like we don't give a fuck.
No.
Saying like, yeah, we'll book you in XYZ date.
Good.
What do you talk about?
Yeah.
Talk about what you want, swear, talk about like the worst things possible, like go nuts.
Yeah.
And it's heavy though, isn't it? It's a lot of time and like energy in it.
I think some episodes are like really like, you know, easygoing chats and they flow really naturally, like this one has, for example. And then like you have some like more heavy episodes, and then you have some like funny episodes that aren't even really mental health. It's just someone.
No, I think you need a balance, don't we? Like you can't just talk about solely like mental health stuff. Like we had one the other week about fucking conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Like we're just sort of like diving into sort of like different realms, because we don't want to just be like a mental health podcast. Like, we want to talk about a lot of stuff relating to it, but then find like a bit of a balance. I think we're still finding out what our like little niches to be fair.
I think, for example, like I know we always reference it. You might not have heard of this podcast, Craig, but it's called the Parent in Hell podcast with it's Rob Beckett and Josh Widdicombe, like two comedians, and they speak about parenting. Probably like I'd say about 20% of the fucking podcast, and it's a parenting podcast, and then the other 80% is just bollocks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like 20% of it's mental health, and then like 80% of it's bollocks. But I think
it's natural.
Yeah, like, and a lot of them do flow just really naturally. I think like probably the most difficult thing for me is like when we have Americans on and trying to fucking crack the banter, mate. Like, it's so fucking difficult.
Because sometimes they probably don't get sarcasm and stuff like that, which probably can be a bit of a challenge. You try and crack a joke and then you think, fuck's sake, like he's not even laughing.
No.
Yeah, it's happened so many times.
Painful, man.
Then you got to explain.
Having guests is a good thing because, say like, it's just you two telling your story. That's brilliant, and you can go on for ages and ages. And the same for me and Gary. We can go on and on and on. But then just having one other person on there, 1,000 people might be able to appeal to that person. And then you get someone else on there, and then that can appeal to another group of people. So I do think it's definitely valuable. No,
100%, mate. Definitely. But yeah. Do you have any more cues on your finger?
Yeah. I think it was the last one, which was about like maintaining your sobriety and your healthy habits and maintaining like good being mentally, physically, and all that stuff. Like what's the sort of like good habits that you do personally, and then maybe like 3 that like someone could implement that could perhaps benefit them.
Yeah, cool. So I think it's such an important thing because it is so easy to fall off the bandwagon if you don't keep yourself busy, especially if you're struggling with addiction. Because if I'm not being funny, if you're sat at home twiddling your thumbs, you're going to get bored to fuck and then think this whole sobriety shit is not what it's cracked out to be. Because all you're doing is you're just avoiding what you really want to do without replacing it. So I've literally replaced all my drinking time and stuff like that with exercise. Exercise is the biggest thing for me. Getting outdoors, going running. I play football again now. I go to the gym and other things as well, like little things. Like I started reading self-help books, and there's so much knowledge that you can get from a book. I feel like a right old boring bastard saying this, but it's, I don't know. I just feel like reading is a huge thing as well.
Definitely.
I've just started getting into meditating. I've done 5 days of meditating, but they're only 5 minutes at a time.
Nice.
And I feel like the meditating's gonna do wonders as well.
Nice. So, what are you doing that on? Do you use an app or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, just an app called Balance.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
You get a year's free trial. Mine runs out in October, and I've only just started using it. Shock. Oh. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've just started doing that, and it starts off really slow, 5 minutes at a time. But meditating, I reckon, is the one.
Yeah.
Because you actually deal with your thoughts instead of just pushing them aside, you know?
Yeah, because when you are so busy and on the go, you don't really spend that time. I don't know to really sit down and think about shit. You do kind of just push it aside and be like, I'll think about that.
100%.
And then you never really do. So I suppose meditating is a really good time to do that.
It's difficult when meditating is actually quite hard. That's why you do 5 minutes at a time, because your mind just starts to wander about them, and you got to come back to like a central reflection in your head or something like that.
Oh mate, it happens to me all the time, but they say that it's normal, so I'm not fussed about it. And they also say it's like training a muscle. You're training your mind, so it gets better and better every time you do it. So you just got to be consistent. But yeah, in terms of habits and stuff like that, I started off just walking. That was the first thing for me, getting fresh air. And now I just keep myself busy with exercising, whatever it is. Yeah,
no, defo. I'd love to know, mate, like your training program, because like where you was 2 years ago to where you are now is insane.
Yeah,
it's out your head now.
Night and day, mate. Night and day.
I was a fat fuck, no doubt about it. I think I was. Let's be honest. I was a fat bastard. I weighed 100 kilos. I think at my heaviest I was at 101 kilo, and I'm 85 now. I've run a few half marathons. I've got a marathon booked in April next year. So it just goes to show, like, it's never too late, and the changes that you can make are absolutely massive. I had one of my clients, a girl, she lost a stone in a month, which it's not all about the scales. I'm not saying that, but it just goes to show that replacing some bad habits with some good habits, it's mad what you can achieve.
Definitely, mate. Something I definitely want to do is get a marathon booked in. I think
seriously.
Well,
you need to fucking walk before you can run. You can't.
He's got a fucking.
You can't. You've not ran in fucking 5 years or something. You could try and run a marathon. Now you'd fucking die.
Did I just say I'm going to run a marathon? I said I want to do a marathon. I know I trained to do it.
Yeah, you need to start training soon, then, don't you?
Who said I'm doing a marathon like tomorrow? I'm fucking saying it's on the list. I'm going to sign up to the gym next month, actually.
Yeah,
get and get fucking shredded wheat, mate, and then fucking do a marathon.
Fucking bollocks! I believe it when I see it.
Do you know what? Keep that reference for motivation.
I will. I'll clip this moment when I've got a fucking 12-pack and a fucking truck.
Me doing that.
Him doing that, and I'll just have I'll have that clip with my fucking gold medal around my neck.
prove him wrong, man.
Yeah, I'd love if you prove him wrong, but you won't. So
well, before we rudely interrupted me, I was actually going to say that I want to do it for charity and like raise money and stuff, and then he was like, "Oh, you won't do it, you fucking dickhead," and stuff like that. So
why don't you do it for yourself first, then think about doing it for charity?
No, I mean like for like Trouble Boys Club and stuff like that. Like get the merch printed and do a run.
Mate, do it. Just start.
I'll walk next year.
Yeah, you can drive next to me.
I'll drive next year.
Start off with couch to 5K if you ain't run in a long time. That couch to 5K is good because it's proper slow based steps.
I used to run all the time, so like I'm not just saying this now. Like I could blitz a 5K out like easy, like, and that's probably about it. But I'm just saying like I could do a 5K, and then like you said, build it up from there.
Yeah,
I think my first step is I need to get some fucking decent like running treads and stuff because I've not had any in ages. Like my running shoes are like about fucking 10 years old, so
cobwebs on them.
Yeah,
I think you should just do it then, man. Order some trainers now and then get going.
Let's do it. Let's do it after this. I'm gonna
keep messaging him, Craig, with like little insults and stuff.
Like chippy tits. You're running it.
You're fucking running it, and I'm like a gift going like that.
Yeah. You'll be like, hold up, you're meant to be doing good for mental health. You put me down.
No, I will definitely do it. Like I said, I'm going to sign up to the gym next month for getting this freelance gig that I'm working on at the minute done, and then I'm going to sign up and get a PT.
Just get massive biceps by the end of fucking September.
Just have him in a fucking headlock the whole time on the next pod. No, but Craig, it's been mint chatting to you, man, and we always kind of end it around the hour mark, and he's been riding an invisible horse for about 5 minutes because he needs a piss. He's fucking doing it, I didn't, so we'll end it there. But it's been mint chatting to you, mate.
Nice one. Appreciate it, boys.
yeah, and thank you so much for your time, obviously on a Friday night. But yeah, keep up the amazing work, bro, and stay in touch. And
Legends.
Lovely chatting, man.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
You too, Craig.
See you, Craig. Take care, mate.